Danny, nail लड़ाने का step करना.
I say, Kevin, go. One, two,
We are not going to sing.
We never went anywhere. We've always been. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is the band of boys. On screen with me is Danny Fernandez, Karan Oberoi, and Chintu Bhosle. And like I said before, we are a band of boys, and these set of questions are for Opoi. How does it feel to come back as a band of boys, and where have you guys been so far? We haven't gone anywhere. It's been 20 years of a beautiful, joyous journey. We have gone through technically 3 innings, and we feel very, very lucky that we're able to come back and with the kind of fervor that we have. The last release that we have, in fact, we've done a couple of releases during this lockdown, but the last big release that we did was Nail Ladale. Beach mein we did something with Hangama, which was a love in which we all believe. All right, and all of these songs have been coming out wonderfully, and all you fans are the reasons why we have stayed so far, and we are ever so grateful to all of you guys, because it is your love which has seen us through all these years and will continue to do so. So we are thankful from the bottom of our heart.
We always come back to ABOP, as you can see in the logo behind us. The chemistry, as Karan was saying, the bonhomie,
the madness,
the camaraderie, the madness, and the music, and of course the fans is what actually pulls us back together. It's like a magnetic pull. And while we are doing a lot of our solo stuff also, but the pull always is to continue the party, which is a band of boys, and to continue the fun.
You guys created a cult. How has the journey been?
Well, to begin with, it was very tentative. We were very nervous. We actually spent 1.5 years, almost 2 years, in training, in forming the band, in understanding our energies, in understanding how we would look like on stage, how each one can cover up for each other, what the cohesive energy of the band is, choreography, dance, music, songwriting, gymming together. The journey has been massively arduous but super fun, because to get something right and to do something right, you really have to put in a lot of effort to it, because you only get that one chance, when you actually get out there and hit the audience. And that one chance we got in 2002 when we finally decided to launch, and after 1.5 years of performing for literally, and I mean we've done shows for auto rickshaw drivers and truck drivers in Delhi at Connaught Place. We've done shows only for women at a discotheque. We've done road shows, we've done college shows, and all this was before we launched. So that formation of the band that happened, and the actual formation of what you call a cult figure, there was a lot of work and energy put into it,
That as a team, for any player to play a long innings, it's very important that the everything fits in correctly. So everyone's complementing the other person, and which is why the team has. 18 years is a very. Most people would have imagined that we would be one of those fly-by-nights who would just come in, have a great song and then vanish. But we are here and we are still making music. We have a massive chemistry. We are great on stage, and that is the proof of the pudding. So in the preparation lies the magic, and of course, destiny plays a part. We were very, very lucky, and we are very fortunate that we've actually stayed in people's hearts and minds for the longest period of time. It surprises me even today when people say, well, we've loved you for 18 years and we've continued to do so. So it's a blessing. It's a great blessing.
What were you all up to all this while?
What were we all up to all this while? I think we all were up to a lot of things. I was busy with my dancing and choreography and stuff, and I think Sharon was also up to a lot of music production and setting up his own studio. What about you, Mr. Chintu?
up to lots. There was a lull period. I think the thing is they're all up to a lot of stuff related to music and everything that kind of revolves or rotates around music. So as Danny says, he's very, very into his choreography. That's been a very integral part of who he is. I personally have been into a lot of music education, writing curriculum, training teachers on how to make music fun and exciting. And currently very strongly associated with the brand Fatado School of Music, and we're doing lots of stuff that helps you keep music close to your heart and to your life. And Karan, what have you been up to?
I have been I've been into production, so I've been kind of producing content when it comes to ad films or music videos, and just finished a feature film, a full-length feature film. And then obviously I've been doing I've also been doing my solo gig, in the sense there's an album that I've recorded which I'm hoping to release soon. And then I also do these old classics unplugged on a property called Strings Attached with Karan. Which is on YouTube and also on all my interfaces, social media interfaces. So that's what I've been up to. But like I said, the association, so how I kind of, which is how I think we've all managed, and we'll come to Sharon after this, is that we do our thing, but band is always something that we prioritize, in the sense whenever there is anything that the band needs us to be together. Like we have right now with our very, very hectic schedule, we're managing pretty fine. That if there are this Thursday throwback, there's Monday madness, we just take out our time irrespective of whatever we are doing, and we kind of congregate and do this, and which is how we've been able to do this journey. Sharon.
Yeah, just to reiterate what like Chintu, Karan and Danny said, we've all been busy pursuing our solo careers, and like Karan said, the priority's been like, in the last 3 years, we've kind of all narrowed it down to a brand of boys. And that is like kind of, reinvigorated all of us to kind of believe in the band and believe in what we've left behind as a legacy. And we've been building so many properties, we've been building so many IPRs, and we've been building so many futuristic things related to a band of boys in terms of entertainment, in terms of education, in terms of what could be the next 10 years, in terms of nurturing, in terms of curating the next batch of singers, musicians and artists and all that. So we feel very lucky that we've had such a long innings, and we've all had individual careers also to kind of bank on in terms of the experience that we all bring to the table as a band of boys. And I think that collective wisdom and intelligence which we have gained, first as a band unit together for the first 10 years of our life, then for almost about another decade, almost 7-8 years of our own solo careers, has chiseled us into a very fine pencil. And we are going to write and sharp ourselves and and probably help the next batch quite well.
How does it feel when people call you the Backstreet Boys of India?
Horrible. Why can't they be called the Band of Boys of India?
Well, a lot of people call us the Backstreet Boys of India. And Karan, now you can tell us how do you feel about that, baby?
Horrible. In fact, it should be they should be called the Band of Boys of India. I mean, really.
Right now, somewhere in the world, somebody probably is asking the Backstreet Boys, how does it feel to be called a Band of Boys of the UK? So honestly, comparison is can be complimentary, comparison can be insulting, or comparison can be just what it is, just a comparison to start off a conversation. But it's good. It's good if somebody thinks they're as good, better, worse, or even comparable to any of the greatest bands that this world has seen, boy bands that this world has seen, and can put us in that same category. Awesome, man! It means that we are there, and if they feel we are not, then we are not. It's perception is your reality.
It's like, in some ways it is such a big compliment, because that's like a world stamp. When the whole boy bands of the 90s came about, there were about 3-4 boy bands which kind of cut through the clutter, and they became iconic, and they're still iconic, and we've carved our own legacy in India as such. And to be compared to such a fantastically popular and platinum selling artist like Backstreet Boys is a compliment of a very high nature, because even they have unique voices, even they have unique choreography, even they have unique presence. Each of those guys are like snake charmers, as we used to call ourselves at that time. We can charm anybody. 8 से लेकर 80 तक. So we also went through the same training. We also went through the same routines that they had, and we've had that love come back to us, and it feels awesome to be compared to Backstreet Boys. But like Chintu and Karan said, there must be somebody in the US who's a Patel who would say like, "Hey, this is the Band of Boys of India." So
they are like
it must be cool. It must be cool. It is cool.
What's new?
What? That's the question.
Daddy, bol meri dadi.
My beard is new. Every day is new. Today I woke up. Even that was new.
Yeah. What is new in terms of the way forward as far as the band is concerned? So like I said, we are sticking to those 2 properties that we have created. The IPs, Monday Madness with the Band of Boys, Thursday Throwback. We've also started to go live on Insta with each one of us, or quick key sessions with the boys, and everyone. It's an individual expression of every boy. Yeah, good. Well, I'm sure the women will be very happy to hear that. Other than that, so there is something on the anvil as far as the boys are concerned. Something on celluloid one is planning. Also, lots of new songs that is on the anvil. The idea is to keep going and keep kind of Sharon is starting with a IP on Sunday. Which he's doing, and then Band of Boys will follow suit. To be able to, in this new normal of COVID, how do we reach out to our audiences? Because we are known for our live shows. That's what has kept us going for 20 years. We are known for being able to do a good enough job, or we are liked for our live performances, which is why we've stayed in the business for so long. So I think that in the new normal, Sharon is experimenting with something which he will obviously, he's the tech king of a band. So he will talk us through that, and then hopefully we'll start interfacing directly with our fans musically. COVID or no COVID, we will still be doing live shows in the new normal.
Please tell your fans more about Danny.
So a lot of people ask us about this member of our band called Mr. Dennis or Danny Fernandez. He seems to be a new member, and that's only because you haven't really seen him. But Danny has actually been with us. He's as integral a part of the band as all of us who you've seen on screen have been, because he's been with us way before the Band of Boys was formed, and he has been instrumental in shaping us, in making us move, in making our body language correct, and etc. from the perspective of our dancing, our videos, everything. So there's nobody who deserves to be more in front of camera with the Band of Boys than Danny, and here he is with us finally. As a in front of camera member of a Band of Boys, but he's been a behind the camera member of a Band of Boys. He's a very when it's work, he's very focused. It's all about getting the end result and getting it as per how he wants it. If he feels it's not coming the way he wants it because of whatever limitations that they are, he is not rigid. He will change to adapt to a situation, and I think that's a great characteristic and personality that Mr. Fernandez has, that actually keeps this boat going a lot faster and a lot longer, because he understands the situation and takes it
also
there.
One more thing, Chintu, is the fact that for all those people who don't know this, all the cool hook steps that you have lived within all our videos are all choreographed by Danny. He's the one who's given us those signature steps, from Meri Nain to Nen Katari to everything that you see. The way we move is all attributed to him.
How's the chemistry within the band?
I have got we are a riot. ठीक है, हमने एक दूसरे को इतना थप्पड़ मारा है, हमने एक दूसरे को इतनी गालियां दी हैं, हमने एक दूसरे को इतना मारा है, हमने एक दूसरे को इतना प्यार दिया है कि कोई बैंड मेंबर कहीं छोड़ के जा ही नहीं सकता. So, to be honest, we've had crying moments between us, we've had fights between us, we've had the maximum fights between us when it comes to choosing what goes into a song. And I think that's what makes us a band of boys. We are chalk and cheese, and we were put together with this aspect. We were put together for our differences in nature, so that if it passes through all 5 of them, then that song has to be a mega hit.
Yeah.
So that model seems to have worked for
Imagine
us.
everybody with the same,
Yeah,
quality.
Kevin. No, same profile,
Ability.
same nature, same musical taste. Nothing is similar. But the good part is that we've stayed the boys for 20 years now, and that's the manic energy that you see and the chemistry that you see in interviews or on stage or the music we create.
People have called us the Beatles of India from the perspective of the chemistry that we share. And the band, the Beatles, stuck around for so long and did so well was also because the members of that band kind of grew up with each other, they understood each other, and they musically spoke to each other in a way that no matter which other member you brought in, it would be very, very difficult to synergize and sync with. So that's one comparison we are very proud of, and it's actually very, very, very true, because you can't pay to get together people and pay for them to get along. You can't. You've seen it in shows like The Big Boss and all that. You just
Or a lot of reality shows.
It happens or it doesn't, and it's happened with us.
What's your favorite song from your albums? Sing and tell.
So one of the songs that I think we can all agree upon that is one of our favorites from all our albums put together is Gori. It's also got immense love from people, but we also inherently enjoyed performing that song. So I'm going to just, since there's a latency issue, I'm going to start the song and then we'll pass on to everyone to kind of follow from there on.
But a little bit about that song. When the song was composed, when Gori was composed, it reminded us of this song called Pardesi. Ta, 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 ta. And when we actually sat with Leslie and we were discussing it, and he was like, oh, really? But that's a good thing if it reminds you of another song. But so he said, okay, I'll make it ta 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 ta. And that was kind of the genesis of the song Gori. And I think
but to think that we weren't very sure of the song, James, to be honest with you, none of us are very certain of the song when we heard it for the first time. It's only when the magic came in the studio, once we had sung it and it was all put together, then we realized we could be on to something there. So,
and the harmonies and the Ravanata that was played, this beautiful lilting Indian instrument.
Also the video, which was very radical for its times. Today, a lot of people look at it and saying, wow. I remember the opposition we got for wanting to do something like that at that point of time.
So what we did in that video was we did a very Western look, a very Al Capone, Western cap, suspenders, and on the mafia kind of looking car, and we're driving in a studio and stuff like that. Needless to say, it didn't work. Nobody quite got the connection, but that was the idea, that there was no connection. It just was such an Indian sounding song, and we just said, let's just blow this out of the stratosphere and do a completely different visual to it. It didn't quite work, we realized, but what did work was the audio, because the song actually was what we deem our first radio hit. It picked up on radio.
It was the first radio hit of indie pop.
Indie pop,
perhaps. The first radio indie pop.
It picked up and did so well that the channels got the video back and said, "Oh my God!" In the days when MTV and Channel V really played music, and how we missed those days. They got the video back, saying, "Oh my God!" The public demanded it. They wanted to see. My God, what is this song? And we want to see it. So that was the song Gori.
One of the interesting times that time, I just want to kind of quickly interject here and say that during those times, the audio, as in the radio, always followed the video. So a video became a hit before the audio picked it up, as in the radio stations would pick it up. This went the other route. The video platforms refused it, saying it's not working, whatever. Radio picked it became a massive radio hit, and they had to bring the video back. So which is why it's such a disruptive song.
At some point in time, this song became like a cultural pop reference. It became like an iconic cultural pop, because I remember 10 years later, all these guys at MTV who were then just getting up in MTV, coming back and telling me like, mate, that y'all took some ballsy step at that time to kind of put together such a bizarrely different, such an iconic video, which has got such different tones, and the marriage of that is so awesome. And it's award winning, to be honest. And Rezi and what's his name?
Zakir
Chide.
They did a fab job.
And Rezi, they did a fab job, and all we did in that entire video was walk on alley. And we were like, "ये क्या हो रहा है भाई? हम क्यों चल रहे हैं बाहर?" And
with the looks, swag,
and the gun.
We had somebody who could actually give us that look.
Criminal look.
Continued that look in almost every video of ours, but we'll talk about that later. So let's give the songs to let's just sing that song now. चाहा तुझे है जहाँ से भी ज़्यादा, तू ही मेरा प्यार गोरी, तू ही मेरा प्यार, पालो तुझे तो पालो जग सारा, तू ही मेरा प्यार गोरी, तू ही मेरा प्यार.
हो याद है वो नदिया किनारे पनिया भरन को आना नहरों की हरकतें गोरी हल्के से वो घबराना
नाजुक पैरों का तेरे एकदम से फिसल जाना मेरी बाहों में तेरा गिरना धीरे से शर्माना चाहा तुझे है जहां से भी ज्यादा तू ही मेरा प्यार गोरी तू ही मेरा प्यार तू ही मेरा प्यार गोरी तू ही मेरा जाने.
Our love was so sacred, but yet you had to leave, girl, breaking my heart, leaving me lonely. I said I miss you. You said, hey, I'm sorry, Dan, I don't feel the same way. You left me weeping with a hole in my heart, and my world came crumbling as we fell apart. I want you to know that it's true. I'll be right here, waiting for you.
Whoa!
Yo!
And that's the
Well,
strength
right
of a
there
band
will
of
be.
boys. Yeah.
Yes.
Where does the band gather its inspiration from?
Well, our heroes, the heroes for the band are actually varied because we all have varied tastes. But I think largely, a lot of our inspiration comes from people we know, people we meet, people from the journey of what they are doing, how they are doing it. Largely, a lot of musicians. So we know a lot of seasoned musicians, senior musicians. We know how tough their life has been. We know how tough the journey has been. We know what a tough career choice this is, to be a musician. And when times are tough, when times are looking dark, we look to these senior people who help us, guide us, motivate us, mentor us, and show us how to do it right, how to be positive, and how to keep our heads over the water. And
Also, I think we draw inspiration from each other also because we're so varied in nature. I think we also kind of pick on, we have kind of reach out to each other and then draw inspiration from each other also during the tough times. So that's one of the wonderful things about the band.
Yeah, so for me personally, and she's been a mentor for the band also, there's of course Asha Ji, who has launched our first album and who's always kind of stood by us whenever we've asked her to or requested her to. And there are a lot of people, a lot of musicians.
Yeah.
I mean, there is this trio of Sheldon, Gino, Sangeet, who are very hardened musicians who've seen us through a couple of times. There are people, Nexus as the band, there are
Uncle
Louis Uncle, I mean
Leslie,
of course.
was the first
Leslie,
one.
of course, there you go, Hari Ji,
Shankar Mahadevan.
Leslie.
Hariharan, yeah. Lots of them, in fact.
Right.
Lots of senior veteran musicians there.
There's all kinds of peers and colleagues in the industry who have inspired us at various levels, from composition perspective, from arrangement perspective, from music production perspective, from choreography perspective, from stagecraft perspective. The Shamaks of the world also have kind of at some point of time we've done stuff together, and it's just so inspiring. There's so much theatre that we've all at some part or the other, some time or the other in our lives have been part of, and we've drawn inspiration from that. I met Chintu years ago before a band of boys in Rahul Dikuna's Jesus Christ Superstar. I remember he had come for an audition. So that way, it's chalk and cheese, and it's varied and all kinds.
What's your take on Bollywood music? Do you see yourself composing for films anytime soon?
I think Bollywood music is of course the big daddy of all, because it purely by the marketing spends that they have, the monies that they plow into kind of make sure the songs are available to everyone. We are not averse to the idea of making music for Bollywood. If some offer comes our way, we look forward to doing playback. Just that there are four of us, it becomes kind of difficult to actually get the right song that has four voices. But we are very open to the idea, and like I said, we won't shy away from because as musicians, we want our music to reach out to more people. That's it.
Yeah.
What are rehearsals generally like?
Exactly like this.
Madness, essay. When we rehearse, it is completely madness. We are all over each other and we just go crazy. I take the whip. I whip all three of them when we are dancing.
It's energetic a
lot of
madness. It's infectious. It's great fun. I mean, we look
And
forward
we're
to
all
it.
over the place, so we need the
All
whip.
over.
Somebody's running off with his phone, somebody's running off to answer something, somebody's running off to go get a cup of tea, somebody's
Yes.
not really interested in what's going on. So there's Danny, who actually
Yes.
wields the whip
Yeah.
and keeps us in
Yeah.
place like a bunch of puppies that need to be kept together. That's what rehearsals are like. It's super fun and it's super constructive. I hope.
Do you think people are becoming more accepting when it comes to indie pop music?
Lately, there has been so much attention on the independent music scenario. Just bear in mind that when we started this, it was called indie pop with INDI, okay, and it was indie, and that meant India, and that's how we looked at it. And then over a period of 20 years, it has become indie with INDIE, which is independent, which is a borrow from the western side of the world. Everybody who does something new in Bollywood is that newness which you're hearing in Bollywood has come first on the indie scene. So a lot has been borrowed from the independent sound as such, and that is how popular culture has been defined across the world and especially in our country. And the new platforms that we're going to see in terms of Skillbox and in terms of Art Square Feet, where there's a bunch of artists putting up their content. If you listen to their content, you can just imagine, you can visualize how futuristic the sound of independent music is and how far ahead of its time is. Like exactly how we had Gori, which is like now an award-winning video. Similarly, I can sense a lot of freshness in the music over there. So I think indie music is at its best right now. And in the coming years, because of the recent remix trends that's been like really rampant across before the lockdown, I sense that everybody is now going to, like, when Bollywood now comes back, everybody's going to like get a little jarred with it, because there's a sound to Bollywood and people are going to go more soulful and people are going to go more intrinsic, because the kind of environment that the year and the earth is going to pull out is going to be a little more somber. So the music is also going to be that way. So I think independent music is going to thrive a lot. And we are going to be at the
Great.
top of it.
nice.
One word that comes to your mind when I say Meri Neend.
उड़ गई है. It's 3 words.
उड़ गई है.
but that-
उसके बाद कुछ आते.
Music.
Music is life.
Music is a religion for me.
Music is life.
Oxygen.
Favorite singer.
Jagjit Singh.
Shankar Mahadevan.
आशा भोसले.
सोनू निगम, सुनिधि चौहान, शंकर महादेवन.
फेवरेट एक होता है.
मेरे सब फेवरेट्स है. मेरे ऐसे पर्टिकुलर फेवरेट कोई नहीं है.
Some behind the scenes fun memories.
All of them. We've had some great fun across 800-900 shows that we've done across the globe. Every show is memorable. Everything is like I said, there's a bunch of energy on stage and off stage. It's the travel is fun, getting into the aircraft till getting to the sound check, and then getting off the stage and then spending time with each other. It's been just great fun memories throughout this 20 years.
We've had
it's
mad soundcheck memories. We've had mad on-stage memories, falling
Mad
off
after
stage,
party.
people pulling us off stage. We've had mad post-show memories where either we are partying together and going mad, and some of you have seen our videos on our Facebook Live that we do, or on our Throwback Thursdays. We've had mad parties post-shows where everybody, organizers, models, and other singers, and all of us join each other, and and we've done
and
so
mad
many
fan moments. We've had fan moments.
mad fan
Madness,
moments who've stopped us in the middle of the road and given us a rose and complimented us, and we were expecting to get into a fight with them, but actually it was no, we are fans of you. So it's mad.
What do you most look forward to when the quarantine is lifted?
Yeah, we are really missing performing to a live audience. So we will be doing performances digitally, and there will be lots of people who will come for our shows, and it will be super fun as always. But we thrive a lot on the energy that people give us on a one-on-one basis, So it's you with 20,000 people, and even the breath, the sigh, the voices singing in unison, all that collective energy, it's something we terribly miss, because it's as close to being like god as possible. That feeling of elation,
feeling, yeah.
euphoria, and oneness with your audience. So I think that's what we really look forward to.
Message for your fans.
Thank you for all the love over the last for 20 years. Thank you for all the love that you've given us, and thank you for keeping us alive in your hearts and your memories. And we look forward to a long association going forward.
I said I love them all.
Just keep doing what you do. If there is music in you and you really want to pursue it, just do it blindly for 10 years with the dedication that you would give any craft. Don't expect any returns, and don't follow the money. Just chase your dream. If you're really any good, within the first 2 years you'll know that you're good. All right, and we hope to see you, and we hope to nurture you, and we hope to grow with you again and do a fourth inning for all of us. And I would like to now wrap this up on behalf of our Band Boys. That's Chintu, that's Danny, and that's Karan. And thank you, Opoi, for all these wonderful questions. We hope we have answered all of them correctly and in the fun way that we are known for. All right. So
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care. God bless.
Thank you so
Bye
much.
bye.
Thank you so much. Bye bye. Bye guys.
Bye bye.
This is that moment when the music goes into a crescendo,
Eye of the tiger. Okay.